I'd like to let you in on a world very few of us remember from our own childhood. The other day I was recording a little girl named Jackie. Jackie is 4 years old now. After we were through, I thought I'd take her for a little walk. We went down to the street and started walking up the block. The sun was setting behind us. It was a very nice day. As we were walking, I was holding Jackie's hand. She tugged on my hand and said,
"You're stepping on my shadow."
I couldn't believe it, and I asked her to repeat what she said.
"You're stepping on my shadow."
The first thing I wanted to know was, did it hurt?
It doesn't hurt when you step on it.
Well, we walked on and came to a toy store. We went in and bought a little toy and decided to come back and wait for Jackie's mother. In entering the elevator in my apartment house, which I'd say is about 5 feet square, Jackie and I saw no one in the elevator, walked in, and as we were riding up, Jackie said,
"It's crowded in here."
I asked her why.
"My donkey takes up so much room."
I told her I didn't understand.
"Well, my donkey takes up so much room."
I wanted to know where her donkey was.
"He's over here."
I told her I didn't see him, and she replied,
"He's invisible."
Then I wondered if a donkey liked riding in an elevator.
"His back is broken."
I asked her how that happened.
"From all the people."
When we got upstairs, I wanted to know a little more about her donkey, and I asked, was his back fixed or good?
"Yeah, but I think he's at the doctor now."
For what?
"For his back."
What was wrong?
Remember I told you he had a broken back?
Yeah.
Well, he's at the doctor for that, I think.
What was his back broken from?
All those people were on his back.
Could we see him?
Only if you put a light over him.
Was he invisible?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, and what about his back?
Well, that was invisible, too. And also the people were.
When Jackie's mother came to pick her up, I told her about the story Jackie had told me about her friend the donkey, and she started telling me about some other friends Jackie had.
Well, Jackie has a few invisible friends, especially Baby Bear. Baby Bear, she blames whenever she does something wrong, like putting her foot on the table when she's eating. Baby Bear told me to do that. So I have to say, well, tell Baby Bear you better not do it or Mommy will be angry. And sometimes when we go shopping, suddenly when we're going out the door of a store, she'll say, "Oh, wait, open the door, Baby Bear's in there." Or we walk down the street with a bag of groceries and she'll look into the bag and I'll say, "What are you looking for in there?" And she says, "Baby Bear's in there playing with the food."
Then I wanted to know if an older son of hers, Ricky, ever had such friends.
Ricky, my boy who's now 9, when he was little, 3 or so, had a friend, a lady named Mrs. McGillicuddy, as I remember, and she was always living in the closet. So when we opened the closet door, he would say, "Hello, Mrs. McGillicuddy, how are you today?" And he had all kinds of imaginings. What was Mrs. McGillicuddy doing now? She was doing the laundry, or she was going shopping, or she was having dinner with her husband.
That evening, I was speaking with a neighbor, telling her about what I had learned from Jackie and her mother this afternoon, and she started telling me about her older son, Douglas.
All my children have had invisible friends. The oldest one, Douglas, had an invisible friend by the name of Richard, whom he would speak with during the day while he was playing in the house. And he'd say to us, "Can't you see Richard, Mother?" And I'd say, "No." And I'd say, "Where is he?" He'd say, "Well, he's standing right in the corner." And we'd look around. We couldn't find anything. He'd say, "Mother, he just walked out of the house. And then he'd have a horse. And as he'd walk down the street, you'd see he'd be pulling something. And we couldn't imagine what it would be. And all of a sudden, he'd stop and get to a doorway, and he'd pull his arm around him. And I'd say, "Douglas, what are you doing?" And he says, "I'm tying up my horse."
And finally, she told me about her son, Jonathan.
Well, Jonathan had a friend by the name of Ghosty. And he would crawl under the table, the dining room table, and he'd sit there and we'd say, "Jonathan, what are you doing?" He'd say, "Mother, I'm playing with my friend Ghosty." Or else they'd go into the living room and they'd sit and watch television, and he'd always have an extra chair beside him. We'd say, "What's that other chair for, Jonathan?" He'd say, "That's for Ghosty."
Well, hearing all this makes me wonder if I had any invisible friends when I was a child, and if I did, what they were like.